Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am telling the story today of our travels, and get ready for this one because it is action-packed, okay? So, if you don't know, I full-time travel in a 31-foot classy motorhome that I renovated. If you can't tell, she's a beaut. Also, we started a year ago. So, a year ago in May, so May 7th is when we picked up the RV, and I renovated a few things, but then we went straight on the road for our anniversary and Mother's Day, and we did like a short little 3-week trip. So we started in Oregon, then we went down to California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, back to Oregon. So that's the part that I'm going to tell you guys about today with that first travels, and then I will go on to tell the rest of the story because we went to 27 states altogether, and there's a lot that happened in all those states. So I'm going to just go with the first trip that we took, and then the next series, part of the series, will be like based on like maybe the next 4 states that we went to, and then the rest will be like more states, you know? So that's how I'm going to do it. I already filmed this and I realized it was totally like out of order and it didn't make sense. So I'm just going to redo it and it's going to sound a lot better. So it looks like I have my head on straight. Okay, cool. First, I'm going to grab my coffee because all I've been doing is talking, and I'm going to restart this. So okay, first we're going to start off with, we got the house, we went and picked it up, and the first thing I did was I took off the square things that come on RVs. There's no sort of, interior design when it comes to RVs. There's just not. They need to hire someone else because whoever is hired right now is just, they suck. Anyways, so I took off those box things, and then I also, I took the microwave out. I didn't do anything else on that first trip. I just took the microwave out, put our toaster oven in, and I took the box things off. That's all I did because we didn't have time. We literally left in like 2 days. And so then I had like a 3-tier thing with drawers for the kids' clothes, and then I had our stuff over there for our clothes with like a couple bins. And then we had towels, and I like just packed it for like what that trip was going to be with only 3 weeks. So I didn't overpack or anything. We didn't need a ton of stuff. So then we packed and we left Friday evening and we started out here on the Oregon coast, the Central Oregon coast. We went down to California. I'm pretty sure we went over to I-5 and we went down like Grants Pass and everything, and then we went down the highway of California. Maybe if I can figure it out, I'll pull up a map right here. That way I can like show you how we went. And then we went down to California. All we did was drive all night long. We did not stop at all from the time we started in Oregon. We basically got dinner and headed out. We made sure we had all of our propane and gas, and we left. Then through California, we obviously had to stop for gas, but that's all we stopped for. So we just continuously drove. If we needed to switch seats, then we would put it in auto control, and we would switch seats while we were driving. So we drove for like 18 hours straight, and we drove from, like I said, that was gross, I'm sorry, Oregon to California to Arizona. And we stopped at Saguaro National Park, and we actually parked on the outside of it in gravel pit. And then we woke up the next morning and made our breakfast and coffee and took the camera out. We got the kids ready a little bit. That way we could take cute pictures with the cacti. I mean, it's the first time they've ever seen cacti in their life. So that was really cool. And I guess they did see it at the gas station right when we got to Arizona. But, so that was in Tucson. And we woke up, like I said, got coffee and everything. We went out and we like explored the Saguaro National Park, but they were like Nazis there about masks, and so we just stayed in like the front part. But there's still a lot to see and a lot to learn, and so we basically just read all the signs to explain what each cacti were, and we basically played like a scavenger hunt and different things like that. There was a ton of flowers around, so we brought our flower press and we did some flower pressing and stuff. So basically just hanging out. It was Mother's Day. We were kind of just hanging out and learning and seeing a new place, obviously, which was really exciting. My son did get prickled quite a bit because he was like, oh, there's a bug over here. So he was like running after it and got pricked. But so that was interesting. And then he like swelled up on his hand because he grabbed one of the pineapple looking ones, like the prickly pear, and it actually has spikes on it, but they're soft, so they got stuck in his hand and stuff. So we went and pulled those out. But after a little bit, I ended up having a photo shoot, so we left, and then we drove over to where my photo shoot was, because I noticed that I wasn't going to be able to get into the Saguaro National Park. So that's why we went to somewhere else. And then after that photo shoot, it was beautiful, by the way. Such a cool and unique spot to take pictures at. It was beautiful. And then after that, we went and met up with one of my friends, Sam. We met on YouTube, actually, so that was really cool. I've made a lot of friendships here on YouTube, and then they messaged me on Instagram and stuff when we get really close. And I have about 5 people that's happened with, which is really fun. And so we met up with her and her family, and we went to a splash pad for the kids to play at, and we just enjoyed each other's company. It was like another day. Like, it was so weird to be meeting her in person, but it's like I already knew her, so it was like, oh, like, what are you up to today? Like, you know what I mean? Because we talked every day anyways. And then, oh, also at that park, there was like a kiddie park there. And something I noticed about Arizona is all their kiddie parks are covered with like this really cool shade thing, which is really nice because it's direct sun and hardly any trees. And so I thought that was really cool. And I feel like more states should take that into account. But that splash pad was probably one of the coolest splash pads we've ever been to. It was like this, they had this rainbow waterfall thing. I have a picture I took of Juniper right in front of it. Maybe I'll insert it here. It's really cool. And then the kids had a blast there. My son kept catching prairie dogs with carrots, and people were like, you're gonna get rabies, because they think it's like squirrels, but I don't think so. But my son caught one. That was really cool. My son is all boy, if you can't tell. And then from there, we ended up heading, we kind of had a schedule because of the RV scheduling, the RV parks I had scheduled. And so we left Arizona and we drove through New Mexico. We didn't stop at all. We did. We stopped for gas one time. And I had to stop at this really sketchy gas station because, you know, it was really late and I didn't realize that was the last gas station for miles and miles and miles. So we stopped at this gas station, but it was in the middle of nowhere, and there was a prison out there, and it was like a native reservation basically. So it was super sketchy, and it was in the middle of the night, and I felt like everybody wanted to shoot me. So I like locked all the doors, all the kids are sleeping, and it was like super sketchy. Okay, super sketch. And then we just basically drove through New Mexico, and then we stopped and stayed at a truck stop in El Paso, or right before El Paso, which we were still in New Mexico at that point. And then the next day we drove through El Paso and stuff, and I think we got gas there too. And then we kept driving because we needed to be in we needed to be in Medina Lake right like a few days from then or something, and I had a photo shoot I had to go do. So we went down to Medina Lake. That park was awesome. There was a million deer everywhere. It was so cool. And then and we found out that we really loved that RV park, so we actually scheduled ourselves to be there while they were shedding their antlers. That way we could find sheds. Hint, we found a ton of antlers. Anyways, and so that was really cool. Their sunsets were beautiful. Found where air plants grow. If you're interested, go to Texas if you want air plants for free, because they are basically a nuisance and they latch on to like trees and stuff and kill them, actually, because the acid in them actually kills plants. Anyways, so that's really cool. I actually still have some of the air plants up in the front of my house because my kids insisted in bringing some home. And then what else did we do then? We went down to, I had a wedding I had to shoot down in Saint A. It's like really close to the Mexican border. Had a wedding I had to shoot there. Then we headed to Corpus Christi. By the way, Texas beaches are nasty. There's trash everywhere. Maybe I'll insert the video here, but there's trash everywhere. They should host like beach cleanups, because there's just trash wrapped up in all that seaweed. And it almost was like we felt called to bring out trash bags or like grocery bags and clean it up and go dump it and then refill our bags. And that's what the kids and I did for 2 days. We picked up a bunch of trash and stuff. And then we went and drove because we heard from a local that you could boondock at this one other beach access. So we went over there, but we got really sketched out because it looked like they had just had a tsunami over there. And it was really like freaky. And they said it was tsunami season 2. So we were really sketched out. And it looked like one just hit. Like the buildings, there was sand everywhere. There was boards up on people's windows. There were like trash and debris everywhere. Like it looked like a tsunami just hit them. It was insane and super sketchy. Also, really cool park over there though. We cooked dinner there and then we left. And then we were gonna go over to Galveston, but we didn't want to make it like drive all that way just to have to go back up, because we had to go over to Columbus, Texas, which is right outside of Houston. And so we didn't really want to waste gas or time, because we had limited amount of time. We only had 3 weeks taken off work, and also didn't have that much money that we wanted to spend, because it was basically just like a practice round. Like we wanted to make sure that we wanted to go full-time travel. And so why are they cutting grass right now? It's raining. That's frustrating. I'm sorry. It's the only time I have. And so, yeah, then we made our way to Columbus, Texas. We really liked that RV park. We went fishing there and all of that. That was a really cool part. And then we ended up heading from there. We headed to Arizona. That's when we went to Sedona, Arizona, and it was freezing at night, hot during the day, but we hiked Bell's Rock barefoot, and there's people like in trekking gear, and they're like super like look professional, and we're barefoot and have our hiking water backpacks on, and we're just like we got snacks, we got water, like we were like hiking up the freaking rock climbing barefoot. And there was actually not a lot of cacti around. That was really surprising. There was just a lot of sagebrush around Bell's Rock. We did explore the town a little bit. There's a really cool person out there with like exotic animals that the kids got to hold. They were obsessed. And there was like this really cool cafe that we went to. It was called Wildflower Cafe, actually. And it was all organic, and it was really nice. Like I got this like quinoa salad bowl, and it was so good. And I make that still because it's so good. And yeah, we really loved Sedona. It was just like a healing thing. Like something happened for me when we were there in those 2 or 3 days. It was beautiful, absolutely stunning. And just like calming, healing. And I did a lot of journaling there. And then we headed to Lake Tahoe, Nevada side. And that was really cool. We really loved Lake Tahoe. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely freezing. And then we went over like an hour to go visit someone that I also met on YouTube. And then from there, we headed to the hot springs in Southern Oregon. And so I drove all the way back to Oregon from there. And we went to the hot springs the next day. And that was a great way to end the trip. It was so relaxing. The kids absolutely loved it. And yeah, hot springs are just so healing in itself, but these are natural hot springs, so the little pools and stuff are not man-made, and there's just something about it. It was just absolutely like makes your skin soft, and it's just super relaxing. So yeah, that was the end of our trip there. We did end up finding an injured bird and brought it in the house and tried reviving it with some of my old breast milk. That didn't work. We got back to the house and I realized, or like we shut off the breaker for everything, and that meant that we left the refrigerator off. So a lot of stuff was spoiled. It was disgusting. But anyways, that was the first video of this series of states we've been to. If you've enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment down below if you're in any of these states and if you've experienced any of these crazy things, or maybe if you saw me, who knows. It was last year, but anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this series. Let me know down below if you want to hear anything specific from different states, because I'll add that in my next videos as well. All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.